obviously worked with, well, just about everyone recently. You are, you know, you've worked on, what was it, Iron Man, Transformers, just about anything. Who is it that you... Who is the favourite person you've worked with thus far? Who do you...
My favourite person?
Yeah.
Well, look, you can't deny that when I was 7 years old, I saw Mr. Harrison Ford shoot an alien in a bar. In a way, it was the Western that I ever saw. Star Wars. He's a cowboy shooting an alien in a bar. I have to say Harrison Ford.
Fair enough. And director, or sort of director and sort of people like that. Who's the favourite there? Is it?
You know, I can't answer that one. We've had so much luck. All the directors we work with, both J.J. Abrams, Michael Bay, Jon Favreau, they've all been so collaborative, and I think one of the reasons that we've been lucky is that these guys are the top of their field, and you can hear a lot of stories about them, and you can hear there's a lot of misinformation about them, and frankly, they're all really collaborative. They've worked with us as screenwriters in a way that I think people most don't imagine that they work with screenwriters, but they do. They really are collaborative if you have their language in mind.
On the subject of collaborative and sort of directors taking your opinions and ideas, obviously this morning Olivia mentioned that she'd really like a part in Star Trek. Now, being as you're the man responsible for Star Trek 2, are you going to be penning her a role in there?
Well, first of all, it was news to me that Olivia wanted to be in Star Trek. She's never mentioned that in the entire 2 years that I've known her. However, now that I know she wants to do it, perhaps. There's certainly lots of room.
Nice. One question I would like to ask, actually. Obviously, with the last Star Trek film, this is like really geeky, so I apologise.
God bless you, I'm a geek too.
With the last Star Trek film, you had still the services of Maëlle Barrett to do the computer voice, and sadly she passed away. What's happening with that? Are you getting another actor, or are you doing some sort of digital wizardry to computerize to bring her back?
I heard online someone suggest that maybe Marina Sirtis, Deanna Troi, who was a daughter on the show of Majel Barrett, might be like a nice shout out to the voice of the computer. So I'm going to pitch to JJ that maybe she should be the new.
Olivia, you're a fan of sci-fi, you're a fan of geeky stuff. There's been a bit of a backlash against that from some of the fan sites, sort of the geeky fan sites.
Backlash against?
Well, against girls who are successful, really? Saying that they're fans of stuff, sort of the accusations.
Oh, you don't believe it?
Yeah.
I don't pretend to be an expert, certainly. I just say I'm a fan, and I am. And, you know, I think it came from my childhood. We grew up watching Star Trek, watching Star Wars, watching all the different sci-fi shows. And I don't know, I've always been a fan of Jules Verne and science fiction literature in general, so I'm a fan. Yeah. It took me a while to be like, okay, don't say anything about Blade Runner.
Harrison Ford, I had no idea that we'd ever get him. But he responded to the character and he agreed to do it after we met together. He did a hell of a job, and of course Daniel Craig was the first person cast. He plays a great gunfighter.
This morning at the press conference, you mentioned that indie film is sort of being replaced by TV. As a man who's come up through indie film, where would you be now?
Yeah, I think I would have come up a different way. Swingers, I don't think, could have gotten financed now. It's a much different landscape, but through the internet, people can now distribute their own movies and make them quite inexpensively. They could edit it on their own laptops, and they could shoot it on HD video. So I think there are great opportunities, but I think the landscape's changed a great deal.